Alright guys, welcome to Pickle Rides. See, that says welcome. I just wanted to give you guys my first impression of the Barnett Clutch that I just installed yesterday. I actually wanted to film that, but there was something else going on in the garage at the same time as my bike was getting fixed, so I couldn't film it. But anyways, the install's done. Done it myself and with the help of a friend of mine, and we finished it late last night, and I went for a short little ride, but it was so damn cold. I didn't get very far, so I'm gonna take a longer ride today. I've done a little bit of clutch adjustment today, and we'll see how it goes. First thing I noticed when putting it in first gear, no lurching forward. I wasn't touching any of the brakes. Got both feet on the ground. Did not lurch forward. And that was my big issue with the OEM clutch. The bike would always lurch forward. It was very annoying. It was very dangerous at times. Especially if you stop at a stop sign on a hill and it would lurch forward. Anyway, before you have time to put her in the correct gear or whatever, usually I'm in the correct gear before I even stop, but you know, sometimes shit happens. The very first thing I noticed was that the bite point is so wide compared to the OEM. The OEM felt like it was just on or off and barely anything in between. So this makes the experience a lot smoother and a lot better. So it is windy today. There's going to be some wind noise, so I apologize for that in advance, but we're gonna go ahead and see if we can test this out properly, go onto the highway a little bit, and see how it is in high speeds. The other issue I was having was shifting. A lot of times I was shifting up and the shifter would lock up, and it was very annoying. It seems like that has been fixed now, and what has also been fixed is the lurking, like I said, the clunking going down to first, and the clutch feel. So the clutch feels is a little bit heavier. It's not enough to, you know, bother you on a full day of riding. At least I don't think. I haven't done a full day of riding yet, so. But the shifting is way smoother. The downshifting is way smoother. And geez, it's windy. Ride overall is way smoother. It's crazy. When I removed those OEM clutches, more than 90% of the plates, I would say, were bone dry, like no oil at all on the friction materials. Some of them had a little bit of oil at the bottom of the plate, but for the most part it was bone dry. Sorry, I have a little bit of a leftover cold here, so sorry if it's if I cough or sneeze or whatever. I sound a little stuffy. But yeah, it's way smoother. I can tell you that right now with a little bit of riding I've done. It's night and day. So there is an issue with the OEM Yamaha clutches. I have a 25 T7. This has been going on for a while now, and they haven't fixed it even on the 25s. So so I went ahead and put an aftermarket in. There's nothing much I could have done. I didn't want to go and do, well, there's no recall on 25, at least not yet. But I didn't want to go on warranty and get the warranty work done just to have them put the same plates back on and have the same issue, or I mean the same style of OEM plates that don't absorb the oil properly, and that's just me. Anyways, so it ended up costing me around $420 Canadian. So give or take 320 or 330 bucks US, I would think, maybe around there. I'll put the conversions up on screen, and yeah, it was well worth it. So the clutch is like 250 US, I believe is what it was. But you know, with shipping, it was like $53 US or $55 US, something like that. And I had to pay duty, which was an extra probably 35 bucks US. Obviously, if you're in the US, you won't have as much of a investment to make on this clutch. But Barnett is well known, especially in the Harley scene, and I know a lot of people, a lot of Harley riders use the Barnetts. A lot of cruisers use Barnetts. They're a well-known company. They're reputation. They got a good reputation anyway. And I would suggest getting this clutch because it's so much better. And the downshifting with blipping is so smooth also. That's one thing that I noticed. Oh, yeah, so smooth. And I would sometimes have an issue where I wouldn't feel the click on the downshift properly, but it still would downshift. Anyways, it's weird. But so far feels a little different. I gotta get used to this. The clutch is a little bit higher because I don't have as much free play in here than I did with the OEM clutch. Got a little bit, as you can see. I don't know if the camera catches that, but a little bit of free play in there, which you do want. You want a little bit of free play, but I usually have a little more free play to have my the release point of the clutch a little closer to my knuckles. But you know, I still got room for adjustment. So it took me about it would have taken me about 2 hours. You know, just using a ratchet, screw screwdrivers and stuff instead of using power tools. But it took me a little longer because I screwed up. I was screwing up one little alignment issue, and eventually when I got it, I was like, yeah, I felt kind of dumb, but whatever. It was so simple, such a simple fix. One of the big issues I've had also, the shifting up and locking was usually when I would give her some gas, you know. So that's what we're gonna do here, getting on the highway. And oh my god, that shifting is so smooth. God damn, I should have done this before. The thing I noticed also on the plates, because some of the plates were sticking together, especially the metal ones, the two outer plates were pretty much more than halfway worn down, and they had that burnt clutch smell. Oh yeah, so smooth. Jeez. Night and day. I can barely feel the shifter on the top of my feet when I shift. Like, it's so smooth. Ugh. Like, you guys have no idea, you know. I actually watched another YouTuber do a test ride of this clutch after installing it, and he was saying it was night and day, but I did not think it would be like that much better, and it is. Like, there's no exaggeration. I will link that other YouTuber I watched. He's the reason why I went with the Barnett, so I will link him up, and yeah. Oh, maybe I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but no, I am not sponsored by any of these brands at all. No sponsorship. I paid it with my own money. And yeah, that is something that needs to be said, apparently. Alright, so we're going to do one last highway stretch. We're going to go through town and come back. And we're going to end up... And then I'm going to end the video there. I'm going to go on the highway 2, which is 110 kilometers an hour, or around 70 miles an hour speed limit. And we're gonna go and test it out on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop at the other end of this little stretch of highway because I need to blow my nose. Oh fuck. Oh my god, that shifting is so smooth. I can't believe it, man. This is such a game changer. Bike is so much fun, and it's even more fun now. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna stop here and blow my nose, and I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. So, let's continue this ride. Oh, so smooth. Can't believe how smooth this is, guys. Ride more. But it's so windy. So fucking windy. It's gonna be a nicer day tomorrow, so I believe we might be going for a ride tomorrow. I don't know where. Could be off-road. Could do the off-road test on the clutch. Let's go ahead and go through town. Yeah. It's such a game changer. And I know I've said this like 100 times in this video already, but it's crazy. Like the downshifting is smooth, the shifting is smooth. This is more normal to me. This is what I'm used to. My other bikes that I've owned. You know? I knew that wasn't normal. And some people were saying, oh, just ride the bike, it's normal. Every bike does that. Not from my experience. I think the T7 is the first bike that I've ridden that has done that to me. And it's Saturday, there's not a lot of traffic through town, so not gonna be any stop and go traffic. It's funny how on weekdays here, just full of cars. Weekends, it's like a freaking ghost town. A bit of traffic there. Finally almost done fixing this damn bridge. See the falls again. I know there's not much falls there right now, but let's go up this way. Jeez. when I had my hands on the clutch in first gear and I was trying to move the bike forwards or backwards, it would sometimes not move at all. Like the clutch would disengage far enough for me to be able to move the bike back or forward, for that matter. Test right now. Get it over with. First gear, I'm gonna stop. Hands on the clutch. I can push myself back easily. I can push myself forward pretty easily. So yeah, there's another fix. Another thing that's fixed. You know what else it fixed? The fun factor. This bike is so much more fun now that the clutch is working properly. Since I only have around 30 minutes before supper, I'm just gonna do a little loop here and then I'm gonna go home. Man, this thing is I'm just in love with this bike, man, and just solidified my love for this bike. It's so much fun. A lot of farmers in the fields cooking potatoes today. A lot of them are only starting next week. Looks like everyone's got their machinery ready to go. They'll either start Monday or Tuesday. Why? Because some people are superstitious. They always say never start the harvest on a Monday. Apparently that's where all the bad stuff happens. Now I'm not superstitious, so I would just start anytime. Careful here. Almost hit a deer once. Right in that corner. coming across the street right here. Gonna loop over here. To the left. So I do want to adjust it a little bit more. I want to get that bite point closer to my knuckles. I use 2 fingers when I use my clutch, and you know, I want to get closer bite to my knuckles, and that's just a preference of mine. I don't like when it's too high, even though I could get used to it, but you know, I prefer closer to the knuckles, just because my CRF 300L was closer to my knuckles like that, and that one was like right in the perfect spot for bite release for me anyways, so I want to get a closer feel. That skunk dead on the road. Ugh, it stinks like a motherfucker. Alright. Nothing over there. The wind is so bad. Jeez. My hands are starting to get cold. I should have worn my my winter gloves instead. But then again, I wasn't supposed to ride for this long. But guess what? When you're having fun, you make the ride as long as you want. Alright, just want to show you hand on clutch, as you can see, and it's going to remain on clutch as soon as I put her in gear. Going just as fast as if I would have the clutch release. I just released the clutch, no change. Pull the clutch in, doesn't do much. Go back to neutral. Neutral stops it. This is normal. Barnett Clutch. I put it into gear. Barely moves. I can still stop it with my foot. Unlike the previous video. And when I let go of the clutch, it's doing the normal thing. When I grab the clutch, it stops, just like it's supposed to. So OEM clutch wasn't doing